morning. It's Anikaspar. It's 8:33 a.m. on 3/2/2017. Um, I've had some really good inquiries for the request for TIs with substantial evidence. When I say substantial evidence, guys, it doesn't mean that you've had to hire one of these private investigatory firms and have the complete workup. That would be great if you have, and those people are needed immediately wherever they are. Please contact me at Annie, A-N-I, Kaspar, K-A-S-P-A-R, at gmail.com, or phone me at 941-356-8007 immediately. But we do need specific people from those states for a very positive response that we recently received from a member of a Senate committee, one of the first Senate committees that will be approaching for an investigation, a true investigation into what's going on. And that's just the beginning, guys. But all I could say is I've been working on this 6 weeks, and with being down for 2 weeks with targeting. As you can see, I was hit again last night with massive targeting every which way from Sunday, woo, including from my own community, how dear it is. Um, we're doing great. We're doing really great. I mean, we're doing a lot better but that makes sense. You know, when it's divine timing or it's an organic truth, and the people who are working in it are truly committed, truly only committed to the resolution of the problem, to the alleviation of suffering and pain and the horrors that we all endure once we get on these lists, it's inevitable for success to come. It's just kind of it's the way the universe works. It's the way source works. When you have deep commitment and devotion that's born of true values, of true integrity, of true honor, of all those wonderful, of all of those wonderful qualities that we humans, when we're at our best, have, it works. Now, again, we're just beginning, but I do need people from the states, which will be listed below, immediately. And even if you don't think you have substantial evidence, I put that out there kind of more as a filter for the 995 calls that I get from infiltrators who are not TIs. That's another thing I just want to remark here as we move forward with the UN letter, which is, well, it may not be going out tomorrow. It may not be going out tomorrow only because suddenly there's an issue with my medical stuff, so I have to go to my doctor, which means a 2-hour wait there, which means, and then to get my prescriptions refilled, which are for my high blood pressure from targeting, for my thyroid issues from targeting, for my stuff for the pain from targeting. Yeah, this is how they roll with me. They hit me on every cylinder, every single time that they want. And probably what will happen is I'll go and then my insurance will be canceled or something crazy like that. It always happens this way in my life. And it's Thursday, so I have to like call and make sure my insurance is not canceled, put it in writing to a witness from a disabled advocacy group here to make sure that he makes sure. Oh yeah, you cannot imagine my program. So back to the UN letters. They should be going out tomorrow. If not, they'll go out Monday or Tuesday, the very latest, the very, very latest, which will give us more time to even get more folks. And we're still missing 4 of the letters that were deleted. The others have been safely stored in 3 separate places. And now that the computer is completely in lockdown, it's going to be very difficult because the way I do things is anytime something odd like what happened last week with the computer happens, I make sure I enlist witnesses who documented on their end to protect their corporation from whatever is going on. And then what happens is you have, like in this case of the invasion of my computer last week, you now have Frontier as well as myself, you know, monitoring this very carefully. And Frontier doesn't want to be a defendant in a lawsuit, so what happens is when you do this is that they're more and more and more limited. And then they just cycle through their old elements of the programs and it gets so old. But there she is, Lily. What do you do? She wants to go out. I don't know. Her sister has not come home. Lily, what are you doing? Chica. She's such a good girl. She's just amazing. So anyway, back to the UN letter. Latest it'll go out is Tuesday. Latest. We have it being hand delivered in both New York and Geneva. It's come to my attention. I've been saying this the entire time because there was such massive intellectual theft that there's a group, the group I've been speaking of, who basically has completely like hijacked my entire program and is like running with it on their own and blah blah blah, which is exactly what I've been saying for weeks now. Sava, it is what it is. I could care less because so far those folks are not getting results. And I don't care how many people are hitting their website. I don't care how many people are joining up with them. I don't care how many views on their videos they have. The reality at the end of the day, guys, is integrity. And that's what works. The rest of it, all of that, like, what's the word? That really sweet packaging, we know very, very well. And by the way, if they're successful, yes, I love it. Um, haven't we learned enough about what packaging is about? Isn't that one of the reasons we got into these things? Is we actually bit into the packaging? I know I did on Wall Street. I believed the American dream when I got out of college. I believed Ronald Reagan. I believed all of it. I got to Wall Street and saw, no, sorry, I got to corporate America and saw how wildly criminal and insane the place was. And I never really bit from there. I kept on just trying to make as much money as possible and then get out. And then, of course, the gender discrimination and sexual harassment was so off the map, unless you were somehow affiliated with a male of power, or you were sleeping with someone in the organization who was a male of power. And I just didn't conduct my life that way, ever. I'm really very, as you can probably tell, independent. So the UN letters will definitively go out the latest Monday or Tuesday, but I got to take care of my medical things. It is what it is, and this is how they play it. I even had the FAA finally call to try to make an appointment for tomorrow to see me. Their stuff is so obvious. It is beyond. It's just like they really think that they're going to be successful with this by saying that everybody's like delusional. These delusional things. Oh, no. So back to the effort. I'm not going to discuss it here because the intellectual theft of my property is so legendary in just 6 weeks, starting on January 18th with an 8.5 hour conversation on Skype, which I will never do again anywhere at any time. But please call me or email me directly. But here's the deal. I need your full name and I'm going to need your ID. Yeah, I'm sorry. Things are such at this juncture that if you make it through the first vetting process with me, conversationally wise, and I'm pretty discerning, then I'm going to be asking for ID. Probably. I'll try not to. I really will. But I probably will have to because half of the people that I've spent my hard-earned energy, intellect, and focus on were infiltrators in the past 6 weeks. I'm not doing it anymore. So if I don't have your real name, I don't have your real address, I don't have your real phone number and real email address, one that is in your name, because they see everything. So you guys thinking you're going to hide something. No. They forget it. They see everything. Can't work with you. I'm sorry, but it has to be because this entire community is so out of control. I've never seen anything like it. And that's why there can be no question. Sorry about my voice and stuff, but it is what it is. There can be no question that there's a level of infiltration that is unparalleled. And if we see this kind of infiltration, not only in our political parties and in our government and in our corporations and in our military and in our intelligence complex, we're going to see it in every single standing institution. And I think Catherine Horton has done a very fine job with that aspect of what we endure, the systems analysis of it, which is what she trained for. So it would be expected she would do such a fine job with that. But so given that truth and given what I've endured with crazy stuff, I mean, just real, like people flying stuff around about me, never getting on the phone with me, and first saying to get first listening to my thing, knowing my truth. No. And then the attacks from certain people, attacks like just being on a call for the first time. Attack. Whoa. And then that person ends up looping in with the people who steal my strategy. I'm done. And these people, they're going to be put in a legal position very shortly. Sorry. Because you don't mess with me. Doesn't work. It's cosmically illogical. Sorry. So back to UN letters are definitely going out. Keep them coming. Keep your referrals. Only true TIs, and guys, you must, all of you, get a digital signature on file. Go to Staples, Office Max, or Office Depot. It'll cost you, I think, $3 to do it. You sign a piece of paper, you hand it to the folks who have like the office area where they do all kinds of things. Say, I need a digital signature in a copy and paste form, whether that is PDF and or Word. That's what I need. So what they do is they just scan the document as it exists and put it on your fly drive. If it is a PDF file, it has to be a editable PDF file. Otherwise, you have to get your own scanner. Or what I'm going to do with mine now is I'm going to go to this wonderful place I go to where all of the UN packets will be created, and have them work with me on it, because they're a little more flexible than Staples and those folks. And if I have an extra $300 somewhere, I'll get a printer, a fax, because I have a fax line already set up, a printer, a fax, and a scanner. So guess what, guys? It'll make life so much easier for you, but we have to raise more money. I can't do it. I get $700, and it's actually $760 a month. Yeah, that's it. So everything of mine has either been destroyed, stolen, or is in storage. And I mean everything. You have no idea. I have flip-flops. I have no shoes. Yeah, yeah. That's called a real TI. That's called a TI who hasn't endured a complete life misfortune program. The effort for the individual states is a very specific effort, and there's a lot of noise coming. Yeah. Oh, garbage. Okay. I just try not to talk over it. But anyway, it's a very specific effort. It's going to be a lot easier than the UN letter, although I'm going to need digital signatures, and you will be delivering your evidence in via certified registered receipts, signed signature receipt, mail to certain parties, and they will not cross my desk. One of the reasons why I have kind of harped on everyone about not sharing your evidence is to protect you. You don't want this out in the public domain. Oh, that's another thing. One of my group members brought to my attention that there's this move to put everybody's data in a cloud. No, 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 no. That's the sign of an agent, and here's why. The strangest and most aggressive targeting that I saw, other than Puerto Rico, which was wild because it's Puerto Rico, it's basically a criminal state, completely a criminal state, was in Ithaca, New York. And if you spend any time reviewing Cornell University and its contributions to our world, it includes things like being the leader of some of the MK Ultra programs worldwide. Of course, kind of jockeying that over to Canada, but really it was emanating from Cornell. Being the storehouse of the Nuremberg Code, which means that if Cornell University has the Nuremberg Code files, that's why human rights have been as horrific as they have been for the past 70 years. That's since 1946. You're talking about an institution that was already very questionable for a number of reasons. big problem. Wild Bill Donovan brought those files, the founder of the CIA, brought those files to Cornell University. Read the book Operation Paperclip if you haven't already, or audio it. 3, very integral in the GMO, very integral industry, very integral also. Timing is impeccable, right? Also very integral in the uh, see, it's the noise because I'm so assaulted by noise, and they know because you can't think when you have. I've counted. There are days when I have over 100 separate documentable like loud noises in my space, and that's in a 12-hour period. That's not even 24 hours. 100. That's like what? It's like 10 an hour. So that's almost. That's, I mean, I what is that? That's one every 6 minutes. Yeah, that's my program. Um, Also, in genetics, bio, biochimera stuff. Yeah, nasty stuff. So if you look at the history of Cornell and you just dig down deep. For example, their women's justice group did absolutely nothing when I brought to their attention our plight. Nothing at all. Um, and has done nothing from what I could tell. That's what I noticed about Ithaca. There were all these, like, it looked like it was all this, like, progressive community, and then when you dug in, there was nothing there, and it was so corrupted. It was outstanding. So, oh, forgive me for this. Back to the Ithaca thing. Back to so the movement on the UN, the movement on everything that we're doing, has to be very, very carefully crafted and protected at this juncture because we're dealing with entities that are wild and will do anything. I mean, when I was in Ithaca, my organized gang stalker, who was the number one in the community, I later found out, and have many affidavits from people whose lives she destroyed. Not only did she wake me up basically every other day for 10 months at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. This is a person who already had cancerous issues and was disabled and had major medical files. Yeah. And the police did nothing, ever, of course, as you know. And I was a woman alone. And the entire city was like total cloud controlled. Here we go. Your data, cloud control. She also poisoned me. And what I noticed, 11 times in 8 weeks, yeah, right around the time that Nick Gonzalez suddenly died and all these doctors started dying. And so what I noticed, because Ithaca was so crazy out there, I mean, it was unbelievable. It ultimately made Puerto Rico look virginal in this kind of arena. Is I noticed pretty consistently like these clouds would hover Cornell over the physics area, the computing, like the IT area, over poverty-stricken areas. It was odd. And I just observed. And then when I left, and I'm sorry, this is so low, guys, just turn up your volume. That's kind of how I talk normally. When I left, I think it was 6 months later, you can Google it, Governor Cuomo gave like $500 million to upstate New York, which coincided with Cornell getting this huge amount of money for cloud computing, which is the complete usurpation of physical evidence. Because once it's in the cloud, who knows what happens with it? Let's be real. Now, given my experience of Cornell University, which includes really bizarre stuff, which I won't detail here, but being introduced to the antidote via the governor's office in a computer lab from an event, really like, whoa, Man from Uncle, the saint stuff, like, whoa. Hello, Lily. I would not give anyone my evidence under any circumstance, and I most certainly would not put it in the cloud. I wouldn't put it on a website. I would not allow anyone my evidence. That is the first sign of an agent, and here's why. Anyone who is working ethically is never going to ask to see your evidence unless it's in a very limited way with a confidentiality privacy agreement. Because the only person, entity who should ever see your evidence really is your lawyer. That's just the way that is. And that lawyer is actually regulated not to share it unless it is to your benefit, period, period, period. So anyone who asks you for your evidence to upload it anywhere, no, 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 unless you want your programs to get even worse, because that's what will happen. Too long of a video. I'm still asleep. Sorry. I need the folks from the states indicated below. UN letters continue to come in. Folks, no signature, no letter. You can supply the letter later. If you want to mail it to me, you can do that. But the UN packet is going probably Monday or Tuesday because of now this recent little ding in my life, which I have to address right now. So thank you so much. Any questions, please call me, but I need to know your full name. I need to know all of your data about you. I don't hide any of mine. I am who I am. And I'm not going to do the whatever this like infiltrative thing has been for the past 6 weeks. It's over. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. What word would I say to look at today? Oh, wow. Oh, there's so many great words, right? I would say look at power, true power, not force. Blessings.